See, this first part of this question was one of the difficult. See, if you see, just read what are the reasons for. Now, you need to be a bit smarter. Okay, if you are smarter, you can score well in mains. Okay, not because of heavy content, but by reading the question carefully. Okay, when you try to say, now I am going to discuss how to write answers. This is, see, many students don't know. See, now try to understand. They spend lot of time on reading. But in mains, along with reading, to score well, what you need to do? You need to write also. Not simply writing to the question. Writing to the questions. Okay. So when you write to the question, what are the things you need to note down? Okay. Now, when I am going to write this question, okay, what I will do is, I know that it has two parts. It's a 10-mark question. So, 75 words I have to write because it's a 10-mark question. 75 words in this part. Okay, so the first part says, okay, read it carefully. They are asking for reasons. They are asking for what are the reasons. So, explain about the reasons for what? Poor acceptance of cost-effective small processing unit. So, content we will discuss, okay. So, the question is regarding small processing unit, okay. Now, before that a word has been used. What is that? Cost-effective. Why there is low acceptance of or poor acceptance of cost-effective small processing unit. Now, in your prelims time, you studied about small and marginal farmers. The problems associated with small and marginal farmers. Okay, like that. So, there are some farmers, okay, where we call them as corporate farmers because they have vast area of land, they have machineries, and they are producing mainly for commercialization, to sell only, not to consume. But small and marginal farmers, they are producing mainly for livelihood purposes. Okay, so like here also in food processing units also, food processing units basically in India are micro and small enterprises. Okay, so they have many problems associated with it. Okay, so obviously you can answer why there is reasons for low acceptance of cost-effective small processing unit. Okay, one point you already have, that is in relation to food safety. Okay, first is that most of the processing unit require capital intensiveness. Okay, so again general points you can add with financial problems, financing. You might have heard that institutional credit is not available to small and marginal farmers. You know that, right? Same is the case with small and micro units also. Small industry. Okay, see, then you can say that, sir, many government schemes are there. They are only in paper. See, there are many. Mudra scheme is there. See, we have priority sector lending, and it says that 18% of your total loan have to be given to agriculture. Then why again farmers are not getting proper loan from institutions or banks? There are many problems. We will discuss. Okay. So anyway, just note down. We will bring answer to it. But my point is, see, small processing unit cost effective means for these units, for them it is cost effective. Okay. For example, there are many. See, even bread pickles. India's pickles, that is food processing. Okay. Now think about a pickle producing. It can be people even produce. Now see, most common food processing units in India is pickles. You might have seen your relatives at least making in your home. Okay, we normally make pickles at home for our own use. But if they decide, if some 4 or 5 women, especially through a self-help group, decides to say if it is a self-help group, they will get initial some funding they will be getting. You can start with an own brand and all these things. You can start pickles. But how will you sell these pickles when you have many market players? When the film stars are coming and selling the pickles, whether these Kudmasari people can bring film stars. You're getting the point. So, so why there is low acceptance of these small? See, for them for them it is cost effective. For them it is less expensive to, and they can give you for less prices. But people are not ready to purchase. People are not ready to purchase because they don't have the confidence of purchasing, because it's associated with food. That's the problem. You're consuming it. Anything which, so many regulatory requirements have to be followed. One is food safety standards. Food safety standards. So many problems are there. Sometimes the problem of, so they may have funding for, funding for producing it and packing it, but in the supply chain management, they don't know how to sell it. They don't have sufficient funding to supply. They always have the problem of large scale production. When you produce large scale, again, the cost will come down. Okay, so many problems are there related with small processing unit. We'll address it. But these are the general points, or specific financing, safety related issue, then quantity or scale of production, these cost effective processing, these cost effective small processing units will have. So here when this question is being asked, the higher importance should be given for the reasons for lower acceptance. At least 5 points you have to write. And then give a small solution also. Don't end there. Give a solution how this cost effective small processing units can be. So at least you mentioned about Kisan Sampada Yojana. Or you can talk about Mudra Bank. So you can mention certain things regarding funding, regarding or bringing these small processing unit into a cluster. In Kisan Sampada Yojana, basically it's about creating mega food parks and all those things. Government gives subsidies, incentives, all those things. Okay. So one of the advantage of this mega food park now is being subsumed under Kisan Sampada Yojana is that it is the economics of scale. Okay. Now there will be a common processing plant will be there. A common processing plant will be there in food parks. So the units which has been set up, so this common processing plant requires huge investment. Since it is common, these small units can go and use it by paying rent. So without so much of investment, they can use it. So that can be but mega food parks is only in paper. It's a pet project of this food processing industry. It has to come. So we need to suggest that these has to be implemented. These have to be given higher priority by the government in setting up. And so it's not only of setting up of mega food park will not solve the problem of these small processing units. The government need to ensure that, basically they are location specific. These mega food parks will be location specific. So basically in the scheme itself says that it will be located. So the syllabus is talking about location. Okay. So the mega food parks should be located in those area where a certain agricultural products is produced largely. Okay. So there will be a direct linkage between farmers, these processors, as well as the processing unit which will be set up in this mega food parks has to be set up over there. And the government have to identify these processing unit, convince them to shift their business to, they need to move on, they need to understand the benefit the government will provide them, especially, and then labeling, food safety, everything will be taken care of. That label will get, FSI's label will get in under the mega food park scheme, which is not possible when they do it outside. You're getting the point? So general point you need to bring and answer it. So do you think that if you write these things, obviously examiner will have you, oh what a student, because I have read 10 papers, nothing is there, he was writing nonsense. Now first time I had seen a paper writing something different or to the question. In that scenario you will get good marks. That is again comparison will happen. When imagine we correct many papers, okay, when we get bored, especially the teacher mind will get, the evaluator mood will go bad when they read nonsense. That too continuously. Everyone is writing the same thing. And in the 6th or 7th paper, they see a good answer. They will feel happy also. That will impact you also. Sometimes half or 1 mark you will get extra. That can also happen if nobody is writing good answer to that particular question. Will fetch you. Finish it off. You have to finish it in 75 words. Okay. So again, some student ask you, sir, should I write in paragraph or in points? I will suggest in GS2 and GS3, even in GS1, since you have to write more points and word limit is there, I'll suggest you can write in points. Papers, GS papers. Optional, it's better depending upon your optional. It's basically good in paragraph form, optional paper. Depending, most of the papers you have to write literature, everything should be written in paragraph form, but some answers you can write in points also because time, due to lack of time and other things. Then comes to the second part, over, 75 words over, out of 5 you will get 2 or 3 or 3 marks also you can get, okay. Then how the food processing unit will be helpful to uplift the socio-economic status of poor farmer. See the keyword, socio-economic status of poor farmer. How this food processing unit will be helpful. So here the question is not only about food processing unit, it is also about poor farmers. And they are asking how it will uplift. Here the backward linkages, you have to mention about the backward linkages. How food processing units, in the supply chain we have discussed now. In the supply chain, first starting chain is farmers. Basically poor farmers. In India most of the farmers are poor because they are small and marginal. And from these farmers only these food processing units is purchasing products. Okay, now, so basically how they will, the question is how the food processing unit will be helpful to the uplift. So basically you need to tell them, okay, now the problem with the present farming community is that they get less prices, okay, they get lower prices. So that's the reason why the government is having a goal of doubling farmers' income. They find it difficult to sell their product. They are not getting. So this food processing unit can go for contractual agreement or contract farming. The farmers can go contract farming with this food processing unit because food processing units always requires raw material. They can assure the farmer a better price, and the farmers always is sure about the price he will get, and then it will break if with the government support. With the government support, instead of selling to the mandi or APMC, they can sell to the. So by having a better income through cutting the middleman and having direct connection with the real processor, they will get a return. Then other benefits also you can talk, okay. So farmers, see, that is, there will be a buyer for the farmer who will be paying him better price. Then what is the advantage? So since there is a ready-made buyer, the farmers may get agricultural credit on time, or the food processing unit can give him credit. Since it is a contract, they can give some advance. So the farmer don't require any loan. Think about it, okay. So because we have to write some points to cut. See, these are all, this is not a textbook answer. This is reality. You have to write some, the examiner need to feel that what do you say that, okay, this is a real solution. When you give some solution, it should feel it, okay. So it's not only purchasing it, but he can give some advance also, so that the farmer don't need, so he's again saving money, no need to pay interest. So a long-term relationship will be there between the buyer and the purchaser. So this food processing unit can really uplift. So obviously when the economic problem of a farmer get solved, his social status in relation to other factors, okay, he can now send, now you have to address this, socio, what is it, education, health, of the farmer and his family, especially his children. Now, earlier the farmer can't send his child to school. Now he has money, he can send the child. Earlier the farmer don't have the money to give treatment to his family members. Now he can do so. So obviously the socio-economic indicators like health, educational status of a farmer's family will be uplifted. It's not only economically, socially also a progress can happen. This is how you have to write. End it off. Address the question. You don't require rocket science knowledge, simple general knowledge. General, like specific to the question. But you see, how you know it? Because you know the relationship, you know the supply chain. You know how relevant this supply chain. But you need to know what the problems of a farmer. That we will discuss there are other modules of, especially on agriculture, especially this MSP, agriculture, APMC, all these things we will study. I told you it's there. Okay, so you have to address in that way. So that's this was a question which people thought that was a difficult question, but actually it was not. But why they find it difficult is that they were not knowing the content. They have not done the basics. What? They have not gone through the syllabus. They are not having the specific point and general point. They have not written answers properly. But in their case, that should not happen. These points which I have discussed for this particular answer, you can use it in other area also. But I am just teaching you how your thought process should be when you write mains. When you answer the question, okay, this way you have to write. So it will take time. I am telling you, since you are a beginner, it will take time for you to connect like this. But consistently work hard, it will automatically come when you study other areas. Because there will be always a relation will be there. So that was one question. In 15 they asked a question, what are the impediments in marketing and supply chain management? Say direct syllabus, supply chain management. Impediments in marketing, okay. So that's the reason why I told you that Shah Rukh Khan, now Velakaran will marketing. Now I understand what is the problem. Food safety, all these things will come, okay. Impediments in marketing and supply chain management in developing the food processing industry in India. So that specific answer we already addressed it, but we'll go for it, okay. What they are asking for the impediments. What are the bottlenecks in marketing of these products, as well as in the supply chain management. So that's specifically, is it syllabus? Supply chain management is syllabus. Yes, direct syllabus question. Now there is a second part to this question. Can e-commerce help in overcoming these bottlenecks? It was a current affair. Because the government allowed FDI in a very key point. You should never miss it, okay? I'll stress it, okay? FDI. Every sector you need to know the role of FDI. Now presently there is 100% FDI in food processing under automatic route. So there are two things related with food processing. Two FDI is there, okay. One is FDI in food processing. FDI in food processing industries. FDI in food processing industry is 100% under automatic route. FDI in food processing is 100% under automatic route. Food processing units, 100% FDI is there, and that too automatic route. You know the advantage of automatic route. No approval is required, directly you can bring. The another is in FDI in food retail. Don't get confused, both are different. First one is FDI in food processing units, food processing industries. Food processing industries and food retail is different. Food retail means supermarket, where you sell the food items, food products. So presently you know that FDI in multi-brand retail is not allowed. FDI in multi-brand retail is not allowed, okay. But single brand retail is allowed. Now government recently made a decision that they allowed 100% FDI. They allowed 100% FDI in food retail, provided with the condition that the products has to be produced or manufactured in India. if the products is produced or manufactured in India, 100% FDI is approved, but under government approval route, government route. This FDI in retail is a big risky for the business, for the politicians, because there is a strong this business organization is there. You know that in Kerala there is a association is called Kerala Vyabari. What is that? Vyabari Vyavasai. So you cannot touch them. So like that everywhere. So it's a very big vote bank. So it's very sensitive also. It has many benefits. Okay, I'm not going to that part. So this you have to mention. It's a current affair. Two current affair is there related to the FPI. One is Kisan Sampada Yojana. Second is government decision in FDI. So many of the problems of FPI will be addressed if there is sufficient investment. So only FDI can bring this, increase this mega food parks and other cold storage and other thing to be successful. If the investment has to come, that has to come from the foreign investment. But my question is, the foreign investment should be attracted to come to India. They should get proper profit, okay, and the margin for food products are less. Now what they are saying is that only food products is allowed. So already this Amazon got the approval. Amazon, then this e-commerce agency, like they are being permitted, but they have not started operation because they are again bargaining with the government. They are saying that along with these food products, allow us to sell 25% some other non-food products like kitchen utensils and other things, soap and other things, detergents, like that, so that the margin will be higher and more customers will come. So that the government is thinking whether to allow it or not. Again, they are thinking that if it is India product, they can do it, but not a final decision has been taken. But you can tell them, okay, government have to give, because we require, see, these decisions should not be delayed. Okay, in 2016 it was announced, 17 only approval made, 18, so nothing is there, concretely nothing is happening. The time is passing away. See, again, it's saying that, okay, the food wastage is still very high in India. Sufficient investment have not come to this food processing, even though many schemes or many attractive things are there. Okay, so can e-commerce help in overcoming these bottlenecks? Yes, especially in marketing and supply. See, this is related to marketing and supply chain. E-commerce can mainly address many problems, especially in relation to marketing and supply chain management, especially with here I have to mention regarding this FDI in food retail. Most of the FDI is coming from e-commerce majors like Amazon, Walmart. Walmart is now entering. Now I think Walmart has purchased this thing, Flipkart also. Then this grocery, there's Grofers. They are all got approval. So basically these e-commerce companies are foreign companies. They are coming through FDI. So e-commerce with the, basically this part have been asked because of this FDI current affair only. When the government have announced it. You need to bring all these points to address this. How e-commerce, now the advantage, now see that, okay, now a time will come, will never visit the supermarket. Now already that trend started. Now most of you are purchasing mobile phone through e-commerce only. Okay, now food orders, now many app have started coming. Swiggy, what is it? Whenever you open some YouTube, this will come. Whatever, 10 times it will come, 11th you will try it. Yeah, we'll just check it. Once Uber Eats like that. So everything is now changing. So I feel that after maybe after 5 or 10 years, this e-commerce will be handling everything. So that will be, so that's another thing. So like that you can, so it's relatively easy to market also. The marketing cost will come down. These e-commerce majors will be, they can bring investment in all the supply chain, especially in relation to, see, try to understand that when these e-commerce major comes, what they do is, they are not simply selling product, they will bring infrastructure. They will, see, they need to store these items now. these e-commerce majors have to store these food products. So sufficient storage have to be made. They will be having transportation. Say transport, see in the supply chain, in the marketing supply chain, see imagine, okay, a product is produced. In FPI, in a food processing industry, a product is produced. They are not having sufficient storage to keep their products. And some products, especially frozen items, will be there. So frozen items can be kept only in the frozen, that fridge, that type of freezers only you can keep. So that requires storage. It requires huge investment, electricity, majors only can do it. Then transportation. These items can be transported not in ordinary vehicles. That especially temperature adjusted vehicle is required. Again require investment. Should be connected to the people directly. Now e-commerce, now already Amazon can do that. He will reach you very easily. Already he has reached. Now Amazon Prime is there. Okay, so like that they will reach you easily. So in that way, all the bottlenecks faced by the food processing industry in marketing and supply chain can be addressed. So along with that, you need to give a caution also. See, or when you say the advantage, you can say that how you can bring more investment, how to attract these FDI in e-commerce, plus if there is any problem, we need to say that, okay, proper regulatory setup we need to set up, okay, especially in handling these global majors. Otherwise, there will be a monopoly also. This MNC have this problem of that. As a conclusion, a one-liner. By saying all these advantages, you can suggest that the regulatory architecture should be such way that there should not be any monopoly, rather a fair competition to be ensured by these global majors when they enter into the e-commerce market without affecting the domestic industry or this domestic e-commerce companies or something like that you can mention, or retail market, something like that you can mention. Finish it off.